Hey Sagittarius, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Sagittarius. All right, Sag, let's see. Sagittarius. Okay, Sag. Yikes. All right. Ooh, what is this? Okay, that's interesting. So I went to grab your deck and look, 2 cards fell behind here. So you have the reverse High Priestess and the Queen of Swords. I'm going to keep these 2 cards out for you. That's interesting. I got to tell you something here, Sag. There's something you're not wanting to tell somebody, okay? Ace of Swords at the bottom. That's what I'm saying. There's absolutely something here that you are leaving out on purpose, or there's something here, okay? All right, so let's get into it. You guys have the 9 of Swords. This is showing up for your current energy. So yes, I feel like there's something that you're stressed out about, or maybe there's something that is like stuck on repeat here, that kind of stuff, okay? Could be that you're maybe feeling, well, I think you're ready for something to kind of, I want to say, shift gears here, okay? You have the 10 of Wands in your environment. This is kind of like a completion energy, or it's at the very least, yeah, like going to the end of something, okay? Like receiving something for all the hard work that either a certain situation, I want to say, has put you through, or something like that, okay? So it is interesting that you have the 10 of Wands in your environment. You know what I got to tell you? This might even be a situation where somebody might be understanding that you are under like an extreme amount of like maybe pressure or anxiety, or you know, I'm feeling friggin' stressed out about something. Like it feels like it's like the same thought or the same something like on a loop, that kind of stuff. And I feel like in your environment, there might even be somebody who's like, you know what, I can kind of like take that off your back. I can like help out in some sense, or, you know, take a responsibility, you know, off your back. I don't know, something like that, okay? That might be something here. All right. I will also say, if this is not a person here, Sagittarius, because not all of us like have that. Not all of us have like somebody to like kind of like swoop in and like help out when we're overwhelmed, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Not all of us have that. So it could be that like maybe your energy here is one of, again, like maybe feeling like, okay, the weight of the world is on me, but you might have a situation that's like, you know what, guess what? You still have to like, follow through on this, or you still have to like kind of like, like you can't give up. You know, that's what it feels like. It feels like there's something stressing you out, that kind of stuff, or it's like this is never ending, like this is never going to end, that kind of stuff. Certainly could be a mind state. All right, again, I feel like you're not exactly sharing this all the way, or there's something that you're like really keeping to yourself. I will say another thing here, I'm also getting something about possibly even being superstitious about something, or feeling like, you know, I got to tell you, like a certain level of like being like almost like paranoid about something. That is not always the case, but I will say that these 2 cards together do give me that energy, okay? It really does, especially with this Queen of Swords reverse. There's definitely something. It's almost like you're wondering, like, I don't know. So let's see. So you have the Knight of Swords, and this is showing up for your challenge here. So all right, I feel like this is a challenge of trying to like get something, either trying to explain yourself or trying to figure like a logical solution out of something, all right, that kind of stuff. Here's what I'm also getting. I really feel like there is something that you are really wanting to, again, like get something off your chest, or to reveal something about you, whatever the heck it is, that kind of thing. Maybe reveal something about somebody else, but I think this is more so like kind of something about you here, Sag. That just might be the challenge. You might be like, I don't know how to say this. Like, it's almost like I have to like tiptoe around this, or I want to say this thing, but I have to like use like secret code words. I don't know, something like that, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling here. So all right, I also wonder if you might be one of those people here, Sag, where you just kind of like say yes to like friggin' everything. You're like, yeah, 9 of Swords, like I'm in the 9 of Swords, and in my environment is a 10 of Wands, like a lot of stuff going on. But it might be that you're like, oh, I'm so quick to say yes to everything, that kind of stuff. I'll tell you, that'll definitely put you in an energy of being like, okay, I have the weight of the world on my back, that kind of stuff. So all right, and I'll tell you another thing. It could be that maybe that is happening because maybe this is an energy of like you being like, I don't want to appear like I'm not interested. I don't want to appear like, oh, I'm giving somebody like the extreme cold shoulder or ignoring something, that kind of stuff. That could be part of it, okay? Also, Sag, this could be somebody that maybe that's what they have been doing, is ignoring you, giving the cold shoulder, that kind of stuff. I feel like you again, if that is the case, it's like this feeling of like, is this ever going to friggin' end, or is this just it? That kind of stuff. That's what I'm feeling. So this could even be a lack of like reciprocal communication or something like that. Okay, that kind of stuff. So all right, you have the Hierophant. This is showing up as your opportunity. So all right, okay, I kind of understand this actually as like you might have the opportunity to like get in the door of something. I named Aries reading something about that, like in between two doors or something. So there might be something in that, okay? That kind of stuff. I will also say this is gonna sound friggin' wild, okay? I am also getting an understanding of, it's like, I wonder if there's something here where you might have an opportunity with just a Taurus person, okay, with this Hierophant, but I also wonder if there's something here that you're like, you actually know more about whatever this is, or you've learned a particular lesson, or you've gone through something like enough times that like, I don't know, it's like you're like absorbing a particular lesson in something, okay? And I will also say with this Nine of Swords and then the Ten of Wands, I do think that that's like, although it is like a lot of like pressure and a lot of like maybe, I don't know if it's like really a crunch for time. It could be, okay, for some of you guys, but I just feel like this is like relying on something that you already know, or you know, something like that, okay? Something about that, all right? And I will tell you another thing. There might be something here that like, there might be a particular person that you can like confide in, okay? I don't know, something like that with this Hierophant. So let's see what else is going on. I'll tell you another thing here, okay? For some of you guys, pretend that you guys are like married, okay? Like or in a committed relationship, whatever the heck it is, doesn't matter. It could be that you're like, yes, I have the weight of the world on me. I'm like, you know, I'm feeling stressed out or friggin' exhausted, or something's affecting your sleep, whatever the heck it is. Again, could be that there's maybe a person in your environment, like we were saying, that maybe is like, hey, I'll take over that for you. I can kind of like, I can see that you're like friggin' burdened, that kind of stuff. And with this Hierophant as your opportunity, maybe that's just what it is like somebody who's like a stable person in your life, or a spouse, or, you know, something like that. All right. All right. Okay, so let's see. I'm also getting somebody being like, I'll show you the way, I'll lead you the way, or yeah, I'll show you there. I'll lead the way. I don't know. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Let's get your oracle cards out, and then we will clarify your reading, Sagittarius. So well, this is friggin' interesting, Sag. Okay, so with this Nine of Swords, you guys have this this oracle card. It's number 10, all the diamonds in the sky. So this is a friggin' hopeful card. So okay, Nine of Swords. All right, let's see what the heck's going on here, Sagittarius. You know what's funny? I labeled your I think, yeah, your last reading. It was like you're a mystery. Yeah, I would say so, because that's a really interesting combination to get like that oracle card with this Nine of Swords energy. Ooh, and there's the Nine of Swords coming out again. So they're like, yeah, no, that's definitely the right card though. So all right, let's see what's up here, Sagittarius. Why do I feel like you're like, I made this wish, I know I can do this, but it's stressing me out at the same time. I'll tell you something, anything that's worth going after is going to have a little bit of stress. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just is, okay? The world is not like void of stress or, you know, triggers, or, is that what I meant to say? I don't know. Let's see what's going on here. All right. I also like your numbers. You have 10, 9, and 10. So I do like that. So all right. All right. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Sagittarius. All right. I got to tell you, I think you do have support. I do. I really do. I think you have maybe more support than you know about. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I think you're aware of it. I think you're aware of it. That's what I'm saying. King of Cups at the bottom. There's somebody who's very like loving towards you, or has like it wants to understand something here. You know what I'm saying? Without like being like overly reactive or something like that. So, all right, let's see. So with this Nine of Swords here, you guys have the Hermit card in the past energy. So you have another 9. So again, you have 10, 9, 9. Again, in your environment, you have another 10. So nines, 1s, 10s, everywhere. Okay. All right. So yeah, there might be like a sense of urgency in some aspect. So, okay, I do feel like in the past energy, there's something here that you were maybe like kind of isolated or wanting to be isolated, okay? Maybe keeping to yourself in some sense, that kind of stuff. I'm also definitely aware of this energy of having something that you it's like, you know what it is? It's like something on the inside, you do want to say it. You want to like get it off your chest, that kind of stuff, okay? But it's either that or you're feeling friggin' unseen, unheard, that kind of stuff, okay? You know, that could definitely translate to an energy of feeling like, is this ever gonna, I want to say get better, or is this ever gonna, am I gonna, can I stop repeating this cycle or something about that? But again, I'm really, really understanding this thing where it's like, it feels like you have some like monumental information, or you've gone through like a dark night of the soul here, and I feel like there's maybe a hard time coming out of that. But I've got to tell you, this pressure energy that I'm understanding with this Nine of Swords, okay, this, all the diamonds in the sky here, like diamonds are made through pressure, okay? So there's something about that. There's something about like maybe experiencing like turbulence, or again, like pressure, or something that's like maybe you're feeling like this thing is like, it's just like on repeat, or I can't like feel comfortable in a certain way, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. Again, it's like, there's this energy here that you're still aware that there's like a glimmer of, like, you're understanding the major lesson in what's going on here, okay? I don't really know how to put this into words, to be completely honest. It's more just like a vibe of like, I want to say you're like really highly emotionally intelligent, or you're really understanding like the cause and effect of stuff, or something about that, okay? I don't think that you're one who's like, I'm only looking at this little piece of like time frame or whatever it is. I feel like you have the capacity to really like look in the past, or understand all the things that are like culminating to like where you are now, you know? That's what I'm feeling. So it feels like a very like major type of energy. I'm not surprised, because your cards are like a little difficult, but it feels like you are aware that that's just part of whatever this is. So, all right. Okay, so let's see. In your environment, you have the Ten of Wands, and you have it with the reverse Ten of Pentacles here. So yeah, it feels like in the past there was maybe a loss of stability, or there was maybe a financial loss of some sort, okay? That kind of stuff, or even possibly, I want to say downsizing, okay? That kind of stuff. Could be. I have no idea. But I do feel like there's something about that, all right? Again, I feel like there's maybe, I got to tell you, for some of you guys, maybe this is somebody in your environment who is having to pick up something financially, okay? That kind of stuff. That could certainly be part of whatever it is, all right? That kind of thing. Again, I can't stress it enough. There's this thing where it's like, something, maybe there's somebody in your environment who's aware of whatever this is too, but again, it's like this feeling of like, I don't want to just come out and say it, whether you're worried about it, or you're like, I don't know how this is going to like come across, or how it's going to be received, that kind of stuff. I'm picking that up. But again, I'm also picking up something about maybe, again, feeling like somebody has given you like the cold shoulder too many times, or has like kind of like ignored you too many times, to the point where you might just be feeling kind of not so great about yourself, okay? We can't do that. I know that's easier said than done, okay? I've experienced this too. When somebody like maybe like super important to you just kind of like ghosts you, it can kind of feel like they're just throwing you away, like you don't matter anymore, that kind of stuff. That's a really hard feeling to kind of negotiate, or not negotiate. I don't know if there is a negotiation here, but it's a hard feeling to kind of come to terms with, okay? Or to like digest and come out feeling a sense of like, okay, this is what it is. Almost like a sense of finalization. So, all right, let's see. I also am getting something about moving, okay? So there might be an energy of like, I don't know, moving something, or moving locations of some sort. I don't know, something like that. So let's see what's going on in your challenge. You guys have this stability card. Again, this is showing up for your challenge. And then you have it with the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So with this Knight of Swords, again, I feel like part of this challenge does have something to do with like maybe, again, having something to say and feeling like it's either no one's gonna be listening to it, or it's gonna fall on like deaf ears in some sense, that kind of stuff. That might be part of whatever this challenge is, okay? But in the past, it feels like there was like maybe a plan made, or being like kind of, I want to say overly cautious about something, or something taking a really long time. I'm really getting this energy of that dark night of the soul. I really, really am getting that. The Knight of Pentacles with the Hermit card, that always kind of gives me that that feeling, or that idea. It's like, it's almost like it's like I've been here for friggin' forever. that's what it feels. I swear to God, that's what this feels like. So, all right. I even wonder if something was taking such a friggin' long time to like become like stable, or to be, you know, in a spot where you're like, okay, I can rely on this. This is like, I feel like I have something to like, Either you're feeling like you want to contribute more to something, maybe financially or with time or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, but it feels like your challenge is maybe being pulled in different directions, or being like, okay, I'm planning for this thing, I'm going to start making moves on this, and then maybe being like completely distracted, or having to, or being like, never mind, I'm going in a different direction, or something about that, or this is like friggin' intrusive thoughts coming in to like stop you dead in your tracks, that kind of stuff, okay? That's really what I'm feeling like. I feel like it's almost like having a hard time getting into the flow of something, all right? But I, again, feel like there's major awareness about this on your part. So, okay. All right, let's see. So you have the 8 of Cups, the 6 of Wands, and you have it with the 7 of Cups here. So, all right. This 8 of Cups is basically screaming for you to kind of like make moves in the direction that is calling your heart, despite whether you feel like other people, I want to say, believe in you or not, or that kind of thing, okay? But it's also the energy of being like, hey, whatever it is that you're kind of like getting up and running here, is it something that you're actually fulfilled with, or is there a feeling of like, I think I could make this better, I could find something even better, something about that, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling. So this could even be like an acceptance of somebody moving on, of somebody walking away, that kind of stuff, okay? That could also be something that's happening here, right? That kind of stuff. So you have the 6 of Wands, the 6 of Wands with this. So whatever this is, it's like moving on from something, or recognizing when something's maybe like not a match or doesn't fit, or something like that. It's like, instead of forcing it, I feel like what is going to happen here is you being like maybe validated or seen for something that maybe you're like, dude, this is taking absolutely forever. You know what I gotta tell you? This is a little sketchy. This feels like the second you walk away from something is when somebody's like, wait, hold on, where'd you go? Which is a little interesting, and I think frustrating, to be completely honest, but that is kind of like what I'm understanding here. You have the 7 of Cups, and this is showing up as like what to possibly avoid with this. Since you have this stability card showing up for part of this challenge, I do think this 7 of Cups might be relating to something in the terms of like, hey, make sure that whatever it is that you're going for, you know, that kind of stuff, like that you're actually giving it a chance before you kind of like move on to the next thing, you know? It's like sorting through something, or like really seeing if something is even like possible to like get up and running, that kind of stuff, or at the very least kind of like avoid thinking that something that you are maybe going over and over and over again, that there's like a level of like being delusional with it, okay? That kind of stuff. I'm telling, it's so interesting. Like, I don't know if you like took like a million years to like tell somebody something, or revealing something about yourself, possibly because there was maybe a feeling of like, listen, this is kind of weird, or not everyone's going to believe it, or I don't know, something like that. But there's just this energy of like extreme high priestess, like no communication, like that. Not for nothing, Sag, this is what this feels like, is going no contact. We've been saying that since the beginning of this reading, okay? And I don't know, I feel like that's still where we're at here, right? That kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. Okay, so for your opportunity, you have this open card here. So you have it with, of course, the 9 of Swords again, and the Hierophant. So, all right, open. Okay, yes, Hierophant. I feel like that always gives me the energy of like walking through something, or being like, you know, like you're being welcomed in, or you have access here, or like you belong here. I don't know, something like that, or at the very least somebody like ushering you into something, that kind of thing, like again showing you the way, or teaching you something like that, like getting you in the door of something. This seems to be your opportunity. I friggin' like that, okay? I think that maybe there's something, you know, I gotta tell you, Sag, this whole friggin' spread here, this whole storyline could be that you were like, I want to go into this thing, I want to do this thing so badly, but I feel like you are either like totally burdened by like other things, or you have a million other responsibilities, that kind of stuff, or there is just like this feeling of like, I feel friggin' nervous to do this. I feel I'm a homebody. I'm an introvert. That kind of stuff. Okay, absolutely. Like that might also be part of whatever this is going on here. But I really do like this open card here with your opportunity, okay? That's friggin' awesome, because again, you have to understand this, all the diamonds in the sky here. Again, this really is indicating that there's something here that you do understand. This is gonna be a situation that, like, again, like requires like time or pressure, or having to like do something that maybe you're feeling like a little, I don't know, under stress, okay, that kind of stuff, and maybe being like, is this going to work, is this not going to work, that kind of stuff. But I feel like deep down in your intuition, you're like, well, this is working. It's like you have proof for yourself. And I don't know if you're looking for like outward proof or outward validation. We all do that. Nothing wrong with it. Well, I don't know if it's something wrong with that. I'm not a friggin' doctor. I don't know what's right and wrong, okay? Well, in the grand scheme, never mind. I could go off on like a whole like philosophical tangent on that, but that's not what we're doing. Although maybe we should. Not right now, but maybe another time. Okay, so in any case, so you have the Four of Wands reversed, and this is showing up as like what to do about this opportunity here. Okay, so I feel like this is not allowing something to be complete prior to you giving it like the mark of approval, the check of approval. I don't know, something like that. I'm getting, I don't even know what the heck that means, but that is kind of what I'm understanding here. Again, super interesting. This whole, like the way you come in, the door out, like coming in, coming out, like that kind of stuff. The Four of Wands to me is like, it's either like something has like not been celebrated, or there's something that maybe it's like, okay, kind of like, I want to say like use the back door, like, hey, use the door in the back, or something about that. I know that's friggin' like so specific, but there is something about that. It's like, I even want to say like leaving something unfinished for the very like last moment of something, that kind of stuff. Okay, that might just be what we're doing. I've used this example before, I'm pretty sure. Like when you put furniture together, you know, you're meant to like leave like the screws a little bit unscrewed until the end, and then you like put them all together, that kind of stuff. I'm almost understanding something like that. All right. You have the Five of Wands, and this is showing up as what this is going to kind of bring in. So I feel like this is bringing in a chance to maybe like test out a different thing here. Okay. Or this could be the energy of being like, okay, I'm not going to complete whatever this is. Okay. That kind of stuff. Or I'm not going to like walk through that particular door, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's bringing in some energy of, again, like either feeling like you're able to now like kind of why do I keep wanting to say negotiate? I don't know, maybe you guys are negotiating something here, but I don't know why I keep wanting to say that word. But it just feels like it's like, okay, now there's moving parts, like it's not completely finalized, now we can move all the stuff together, that kind of thing, kind of like try out different settings, I want to say. I don't know what I'm saying here, Sag. I don't know what I'm saying. So, all right, hopefully this is making sense to somebody. So for what to avoid, you guys have the Ten of Swords. That's what I'm saying. It feels like avoiding some finalization, or avoid feeling like something is like done and over, or that something was done completely in vain, and that's what it is, okay? That kind of stuff. I weirdly like the Ten of Swords and the Hierophant showing up in your opportunity. I really do. I feel like there's like spiritual protection, or you are just like one of those people that, again, like you are understanding like the grand scheme of something here, all right? That kind of stuff. But I also feel like you've kind of gone through like a pretty tricky time, okay? Or feeling, again, like that sense of like not being seen, not being validated, for like maybe you've been putting in a crap load of work, that kind of stuff. Maybe you've been feeling depleted because of that, or whatever it is, you know, that kind of stuff. But I do feel like there's an energy here of like having the opportunity to kind of like maybe open up to a specific person, or maybe having a specific person open up to you that maybe has, you know, in the past kind of like closed down, or again, gone like no contact in some sense, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right. That's what I have for you guys, Sagittarius. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements, and I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.